SVS, SV, I'm gonna say. No, don't, you know what I mean? Chill. Everybody chill right now, okay? Everybody chill. All right? Stop all that. All right? First of all, that's public. People could see you saying that stuff, okay? They could see you talking like that about the Leafs, Sidley. You know what I mean? And Roar 55, you know? Chill. All right? So we lost. It's game 2. Game 2 of the whole season, and it's against Ottawa. If there's any team in our division that we can afford to give up points to, it's Ottawa. All right? So let's chill. All right? Because this happens every year. Ottawa beats us throughout the regular season, right? And that'll be the only thing they hold on to at the end of this year. Right? Call me a liar. Call me a liar, Sidley. Call me a liar, Roar. Or SV. Or King Sully. You know what I mean? Or Daedalus One. Am I saying the Daedalus One? Daedalus One? I don't know. It's a cool name, though. It looks awesome. So let them have it. Let them have their little win. They're probably going to pick up one tomorrow, too, judging by how I saw everybody play tonight. Right? So it's probably going to happen again tomorrow. Right? Don't worry about it. It's just Ottawa, right? They still have to play all the other teams. They could win every game against Toronto this season, and Toronto could still finish ahead of them in the standings. It's usually what happens, right? Something like that. So don't worry, man. Don't worry, okay? That being said, from here on out, we got some stuff to talk about, man. What was that? What was that? That was horrible, right? So I know I told you all to chill and everything like that. Now let's get right back up. Let's get amped. Right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Roar 55 talking about Matthews there. Let me tell you, I mean, that year that he scored 4 against Ottawa in game 1, right? Like, he went on like a 12-game goalless streak after that? He might just be starting off on game 1 of the streak yesterday, you know what I mean? Who knows how long it'll go, but he'll come out of it, man. You know what I mean? Once he gets a flow for it, he always comes through. I mean, maybe it's the stash wearing him down, kind of like Nylander's hair. I don't know, but again, it's just game 2, but at the same time, you know, I understand why everybody gets so upset, okay? Everybody gets so upset because, you know, to the team we watched tonight, they feel like, oh, this is just, you know, this is the first game. We're new. This is a whole bunch of different mistakes. This is not like last year. This is not like the year before. We're a different team. We're made up of different guys, you know? That's what they're thinking. And I tell you what, for us Leafs fans, we see the same thing every year, right? We see them going after all the top teams in the league and putting up games that you're like, whoa, these guys could go all the way, right? And then put them up against a low-ranked team that they should walk all over. Theoretically, of course. Theoretically, that's why they play the games. No disrespect to Ottawa. But theoretically, on paper, we should have whooped them tonight. And what happened? Right? Turnovers. That should be the theme for tonight. I don't know what the stat is. I tried to look it up real quick. It wasn't on the score app. But I'd be willing to bet they got whooped in turnovers tonight. You know what I mean? And anyone who's been following along on the YouTube channel when I was going through the Be a Pro stuff knows, man, I'm the guiltiest of turnovers. I see them. I know what they look like. All right? I do them all the time. Baldahay, what's up? Zakanopic 91. I like that. You guys got some cool handles, man. I like them. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. So, I mean, I would say if you look at it, it probably comes down right down to turnovers. And the best hockey I saw them play was like when the net was pulled and they had like 30 seconds left. That maybe early on in the first or something like that. They had maybe a good push or two. So, I mean, like, you know, look, they don't suck. They don't suck. But when they get down in their heads, like, they don't come back, man. I mean, what they did in game 1 there against Montreal was pretty fantastic. And I give, like I said, I gave Wayne Simmons all the credit for getting him riled up. He can't do that every night. You know what I mean? It was game 1. It was an important night. Wayne Simmons' first game home back in Toronto, he stepped up, right? Got everybody riled up and off they went, right? You can't do that every night because then it's not special. You know, you don't look to Simmons to do that every night, right? Sometimes the big boys getting paid all the moolah got to find a way to pull it out, right? Got to find a way to dig deep and get it done. And I'm not going to tell them how to do it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a pro hockey player. Neither are you, right? We're just fans. But from our perspective, we get to see the game in a more simplified way compared to them. There's chaos going around them, right? So sometimes they think they know what's going on, and to be honest, the fans know better. But then they'll go watch the tape afterwards, and then they'll probably even show even more mistakes that we didn't even pick up on. You know what I mean? And that's where the real skill of these players comes out, right? All of them, all the pro hockey players. So, what are you guys saying about this? All right, let's check in the chat here, right? So, you know, only player you're watching from the Sens is Stutzel. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, you looked pretty good, eh? Sorry, man, I forgot my water ball. It's over back here. I'm getting used to the new basement setup, guys. You know what I mean? It's the new basement setup until we get the permanent space that we're working on, right? You guys know that I can't do this stream, right, without the hockey water bottle. You gotta have it. It's the only way water tastes good, guys. Plastic. All right. Yeah, Stu, so you look pretty good. Again, like, Ottawa didn't look bad. They didn't look like they didn't deserve the win. The Sens played well tonight. They did. They're capable of playing well. Every team, I always tell hockey fans this, man. Nobody listens. The sports fans in general. If you're a professional team, you are capable of winning one game against the best team in the league on one night. Everyone's day comes up one time. You know what I mean? Like, even a broken clock is right twice a day. I mean, unless they're digital and stuff. So, oh, jeez. Hey, is that Davis? Is that Davis in the house, or is that just Thelvis? We had our own friend on YouTube named Davis, and I hope that's him. I hope that's him. But if it's not, then it's Thelvis. And hey, welcome as well. All right? Coincidental name there. That's pretty cool. So let me know in the chat. Say hello. I want to meet you. All right? But yeah. You know what I mean? I thought the Sens played just fine, you know, but, you know, Toronto just could not get any momentum together. A lot of turnovers. And yesterday you saw a lot better puck movement. Refs had the whistles out big time, and I'm not blaming them for the loss. Everybody chill on that too, okay? I'm not blaming the refs for the loss, but, you know, I mean, there were a lot of penalties going both sides again. So early in the season, you can expect the same thing tomorrow. You know what I mean? Refs are going to be out showing them who's, you know, what is bigger, right? Kind of set that tone early on. So, what else you guys saying? Here? Where you're saying once Matthews gets a few, he'll start going, yeah, exactly. I think so too. You know what I mean? That's what Matthews is going to do. He's just going to taste for blood, and then all of a sudden, ooh, he'll want more. You know what I mean? And look for him to do crazy things. He's a great goal scorer. We all just need to chill. Defense is way too soft in front of Freddie. I mean, yes, Zach. Yes. You guys know me, man. I am a defenseman in my heart, right? Have been for always, right? So even when I'm playing the stupid video games that we play, I'm always preaching defense. It's a lost art, man. I don't mean defensemen, all right? Oftentimes there's good defensemen on really bad teams because they're not in charge of scoring goals, right? They can't drive the offense of a team, and sometimes that's why a team sucks. But I mean, defense as a whole unit, all five guys on the ice. If you don't buy into that, this is why you have to get 5+ goals a game to win. You know what I mean? If the Leafs had lost 1-0 tonight, I'd be far less like judgmental. You know what I mean? Or if they lost like 2-1, you know, a low-scoring game, they lost by a goal. They only lost by 2 tonight, if you think about it. You know, if that game was 2-0 tonight, nobody's really all that mad. Because maybe we give the credit to the other goalie for an awesome shutout or something like that. You know what I mean? But it's because we had to get 5 goals or 6 goals to win now. You know what I mean? You can't do that every night. You can't outscore your troubles. And the only way to reduce goals against is to buy into defense. And I don't know if it's a coaching thing. I don't know if it's a new NHL player thing. They don't play defense the way they used to. I'm going to sound like an old man there, I know, but the defense do not play. And this is not just the Leafs. This is like league-wide. Very few teams play old-school defense, which is just whatever position you're playing, this is the basics. This is defense. Keep you between them and your net. That's it. That's where you start. Now, don't get me wrong. Once you get to the NHL level, it's way more complicated than that. They got all kinds of formulas and plays they like to try and run and box people out, and when to double team and when to go solo and all that stuff, right? So it gets way more complicated than that. But if you're letting them get around you, right? And I'm talking the guys without the puck here, right? When you're letting Senators get past you, you know what I mean? To get a pass, put it in, whatever. It doesn't matter about any of your formulas at that point. That's the thing that has to happen first. If that doesn't happen, if you're not separating them from your net with your body, right, you've already lost. And you just got to hope that your goalie bails you out. And to be honest, I don't know if Freddie's going to have a good year this year. I don't know, man. This is a contract year for him. He's got the pressure of needing to play good, because whether he plays for Toronto or if he goes somewhere else in the long run, he needs to have a good season now more than ever, because it's the only way he gets the big De Niro next year, right? De Niro. You know. But you see what I'm saying? So, yes, the defense is kind of weak, man. And that's a whole team thing. That's not the two guys, left and right D. And then you say, Roy, you're saying we think he played down to them. We need to try as hard as we do against Tampa every night. Yeah, like that's kind of what I'm saying, right? Like on the easier nights, quote unquote, because anyone on paper can play better for a single night, like I said. I find that for the Leafs, anytime they're playing someone that they're expected to beat, and they're just, sometimes it's not effort, sometimes it is. Sometimes you see them, they're kind of like dogging their skating out there. Not this game. This was not that game. Let's be fair. They were trying hard. So it wasn't the effort, right? It was just like the team cohesiveness. They were doing drop passes to nobody, and then the Sens would pick it up and off they go. You know what I mean? Like they clearly want to try and do some things here, but they're not thinking the same right now. And you gotta have that, man. You gotta have that team connection, right? I mean, I'm telling you guys, like even on a very low level, right? And I only ever played low level hockey as a kid, right? There's still something magical that can happen. I played with this guy. I was a left defense. He was a center. But because I could kind of skate better that year than some of the other kids, because I had my growth spurt a little bit ahead of them. Don't worry, they all passed me the next year after that. But I had a year where I could kind of skate pretty good. And so as a defenseman, I was expected to go up on the rush sometimes. And there was this centerman that I played with, man. We didn't hang out off the ice. We didn't go to the same school. I only knew him from being on the ice with this kid. But he and I connected, man. And I could go into their, like if I'm out on the rush and the puck trickles into the corner, I'm the closest guy to it. I got to go for it, right? And I would. And I didn't have to look. I didn't have to look where this kid was. I knew where he would be, and I could do behind the back passes. I could do no looks around a defender, all this kind of stuff, because he goes where I would go. We thought the same way. You know what I mean? And sometimes that just requires a conversation. I mean, you guys, these are pros. They're obviously trying to work on this stuff, right? They're not stupid. They know this. They know this better than you and me ranting about it, okay? They know it. But it just wasn't happening tonight, man. It was just turnovers and turnovers and turnovers, bad passes, you know. So they just need to figure each other out. Maybe it is the new guys. They need to mesh with them a little bit. You know what I mean? They'll sort that out. It's game two. It's game two. You know what I mean? So again, where are we at in the chat? I ramble on each comment here, guys. I'm sorry if I'm going off too much. You know what I mean? You know, but this is the fun. But I've been waiting to talk about real hockey with you guys for so long. Everyone thought this was just a gaming thing. And I was happy to make it just a gaming thing until there was hockey. But the combination, this is what I wanted. So thanks for all the new people joining in here tonight. This is great. And you're going to love the gaming stuff too. We have a blast doing this, right? But Jumbo Joe doesn't belong on the top line. I see that comment there from Delvis, or is it Thievis? Is this my boy Thievis coming back? You know what I mean? Let me know, dude. Balda, you're saying you felt happy for our Ottawa. Oh, dude. Watch what you're saying. I know you're new to this, so I'm going to let that go. But what are you saying here? I'm going to keep reading this. Everyone was giving them shit in the chat and was watching before the game. Tomorrow's game will be tasty, boy. You know, don't ever feel happy for Ottawa. Don't. I know you're new to this, and you know what I mean? I'm glad you're learning about the game. But during the season, you don't need to feel good for a team like that, all right? You don't need to do that, because they would not feel good for you. But don't get me wrong. I'm not going to like go up and punch a Senators fan in the face tomorrow or nothing like that. I wouldn't even make them feel bad about the loss. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm with you. If you really feel good for them, the only thing you have to do as a Leafs fan is just go, all right, I'm not going to make fun of you tonight. And if you notice, my after the game post does not make fun of the Senators. I often do that. If I feel like a team deserved to win, I'm not going to make fun of them, even in a loss. You got to give credit where credit's due. And right now, I knew this would happen. Leafs fans are going to freak out. They're just going to go, because it's game two and we're 1-1. Like that matters in the end. I mean, I know it's a shortened season, don't get me wrong. So if there's any time to freak out, now it's probably, you know, you're more justified this year. But yeah, I don't know about Jumbo Joe on that top line either, man. I don't know. Like, I like the guy a lot. And I don't know. I don't know if there was a problem with their offense really tonight. They still scored 3 goals, guys. Their offense scored 3 goals. It's what they didn't stop. Right? It's what they didn't stop. You know what I mean? And that's why I say if you lose a 1-0 game, you know, any team can get a goal, right? A goal can go in on anybody. So you lose 1-0, and all that says is, man, we played great defensively. We just need to tweak our offense. I'd rather take a loss like that, right, than scoring 3 goals in a game of hockey and still losing. Welcome to the new NHL, guys. Welcome to the new NHL. And if you look, the video game's the same way now. They've sacrificed all the programming to make it so offensive that now every game you got to win 7-5. You know what I mean? 6-4, stuff like that. This is what everybody wants, right? I don't. I want good hockey. And if that means a low score, awesome. But if that means a great score, because there are situations where even great teams will give up 7 goals in a game. It happens. But you know what I mean? The last couple of games, I don't feel like this warranted these high scores. And that's on both teams as well, too. You know what I mean? Robertson should be playing, you're saying, as well. Yeah, I like the kid, so I want to see where he goes. Freddie's struggling. Yep. I mean, I agree with that right now. It's a struggle, but I don't, you know, the first goal, come on, that's a screen. His own guy's screening him, right? He's touching him practically. And even that bothers me, guys. Okay? I don't know what happened, but when I was growing up, we got taught that if you're the defenseman in front of the net, and he's standing there in front of your goalie, you got 2 options. You either go shoulder to shoulder with him and force him out like that. Okay? Don't hook him, don't do anything like that. You just use your shoulder and you don't hit. You just dig your skates in and you push until you've cleared them out of the way. Or you stand in front of them and you keep backing that butt up, all right, until you force him out of the crease as well. You never just sat there behind the guy like, maybe I'll get what he misses. What? And look across the league. That's NHL. That's NHL. I don't know why they play like that. It drives me nuts. You know what I mean? Play some serious defense, man. Battle in front of it. Unless the refs are telling them they can't do that anymore, which is always possible. We don't know. So if the refs are telling them, hey, I'm going to call you for interference on that, well, then okay, then I guess that's how the league is going to be run. But you know what I mean? So yeah, team chemistry, I'm with you on that. Team is pretty new and has less chemistry. Yeah, AKZ, what's up, buddy? Thanks for the comment, man. And yeah, Beavis is back. He's back, man. So yeah, that's awesome. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Oh, I love the beats. But again, guys, I know, like we're saying, it's a new team, new chemistry. They're gonna have to figure it out. The thing is, though, they keep making the same mistakes. And if you're a Leafs fan for the last, you know, I don't know, if you've been a Leafs fan since Matthews joined the team, you've already know what experience. You've already had the experience of seeing the Leafs commit the same fouls every year. In just 5 years, you know what I mean? We're making the playoffs, or at least elimination rounds these days. So, I mean, I'm happy about that. But same mistakes for the past 20 years, maybe, since early 90s or late 90s and early 2000s. We had a good rush there. You know what I mean? Mikheyev tried to carry. Yeah, he was looking okay, I guess. Thornton was best player on the first line, though, tonight. Ooh, that's a hot take. I don't think anyone on the first line was really all that good tonight. You know what I mean? Not really. I mean, Matthews had some great spins and tucks. These guys do the moves. Okay, you want to know what it is about our offense? They do the moves that in like a video game, you cannot figure out how to do, right? They do all that stuff. And you're sitting there going, wow, these guys are great. So score, right? So score. And it's like, there's nights where they're just gone. They're just gone on the score sheet. You know what I mean? But whatever, you know what I mean? It's going to happen. So like I said, defense is how you get away with this stuff. You can have a really horrible night on offense. As long as you play solid defensively, they cannot win if they can't score. Right? You can't lose a game if you don't give up a goal. It's that simple. The game just keeps going. So you just wear them down. And when a team that's... Look, at sports, sometimes you are up against people that are better than you. You just have to deal with it. Because again, you just have to be better than them right now. In this game. Right? So, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you got to just dig deep and just chip away at it, man. Play solid defense. Don't give up anything, because it's a lot easier to defend than it is to play forward. It's a lot easier to defend than it is to attack. That's just true. But if you spend all your time attacking, then you're sacrificing defense to do it. You know what I mean? So Brody was shaky tonight. Yeah, maybe. I missed a lot of his action, though. I got my kids. I'm trying to put them to bed in the middle of the game and stuff like that. So I bounce back and forth as much as I can. And who do I think gets traded first, Nylander or Marner? I think Nylander, if I had to say, just because that's how the Leafs operate. They told Nylander when he re-signed he plans on being, Dubas plans on keeping him. And I could just see something where like Dubas gets fired and then the first thing they do is trade Nylander. You know what I mean? Because that's just how it would go in Leafland. That's the story, right? We may never win a cup, but man, we got drama in this city all the time with our teams. So I would bet Nylander. But that's true, man. Marner could go too. They're all expendable. That's why I haven't got the name on the jersey yet. I don't know who to commit to because they haven't committed to anybody. Not really. I don't believe in these big contracts. That doesn't mean anything. They can find a home for them, right? Baldy, hey, am I going to post these on my YouTube too? Yeah, I am. I already did one. It went really well. You know what I mean? So I absolutely think that that's what we're going to do there. All right? I'm going to keep posting these up online on YouTube in case anybody misses them. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness, my cat. See, now that I'm in the basement, I'm taking his home away, right? This is usually where he goes when he doesn't want to be around any of us, but now I'm up in his space. What is this? What is this? I don't know. What did I hit? Did I hit the right thing? I don't think I hit the right thing there. There was a comment. I was trying to approve it. I don't think I clicked the right thing. I slipped. Sorry. You know what I mean? But if one of our top 4 gets traded, I think it's going to be Tavares. Ooh, trade away the captain. Now that might be something that they commit to, though. You put a C on a guy, and like, exactly what happened to Phaneuf. If the management changes, anybody can go. So if the management changes, they're all expendable because someone will want to make their mark. You know what I mean? Someone will want to say that's what I did to change that team. So if management changes, the general management, then even Tavares could be traded. But as long as Dubas is there, and maybe even as long as Shanahan is there, Tavares will be captain, and he'll be there. They're not going to get rid of him. So we'll see about that first. We'll see who goes first. It could be management, right, guys? Like, that's always a possibility. Talking about the Sundin days. Oh, man, I love the Sundin days. There were some good ones there, both when he first started and later on when he almost was close to retirement there. 08 is in the house as well, too. What's up, dude? You're guessing the Leafs did not win this game, just got here. Yeah, you guessed right. If you can't tell by the chat and everything like that. And sorry I'm falling behind on it since you guys inspire such good conversations. I'm like only halfway down it. Let's see if I can get caught up here. We'll let Zaitsev beat us. Oh, was he on the team tonight? I don't know. I'm so used to Ottawa having a bunch of players that we traded away. I saw Connor Brown tonight. Love that guy. Connor Brown was the first player to ever give my kids a fist bump, right? We went to a preseason game, you know what I mean? Exhibition game is what I was trying to think of. And it was at where the Marlies played instead of the big rink there. And so you could go to in the Marlies rink, there's a spot where it's like you can just walk around it. It's a big old ring around the rink. And there's a gap there where the players come through. So if you stand there before they come out for the game, they'll give you fist bumps and stuff like that. So the Leafs played there for a night, and my kids, and we brought them up there, and they're so little, and we probably should have held them up, but everybody's hands were up and stuff. I don't know, we just didn't think to. I probably thought I was going to hurt them. So they were just standing. They were only like 2 feet tall or whatever like that. And all the Leafs passing by were going up high, and all the fans reaching down and stuff like that. Connor Brown was the only guy. He ignored everybody. Every single one of them. He came out, he ducked low, saw my kids, went boom, boom, and then he left. He didn't touch nobody else. And I was like, what? Like, that's so cool of him to do that. So Connor Brown always gets a place in this family's heart for sure. So I wish him well over in Ottawa, man. Like, I'd love, if this ends up being a real series this year, like a real rivalry, man, it'll be good. And we'll be thankful that it came back and it started this way with this loss. You know what I mean? If this sparks a real rivalry this year, hey, enough out of you. You know what I mean? It sparks a real rivalry. This will be a lot of fun, and we won't even care about this loss. You know what I mean? Let's see where we are. You know what I just realized? Oh, Matt Murray is doing good while Yari is getting pulled. I mean, yeah. Cat pog. What's that? I don't know what pogs were when I was a kid, but you guys are not talking about pogs. And then Roar, you're saying what? You're saying that you felt that they should start Freddie tomorrow because if he has a bounce back, it'll be really good for his confidence. Ooh, that would have been interesting. That would have been an interesting coaching strategy. You know, It's funny you should say that, because I always think that when you're like the best coaches kind of create storylines for their players a little bit. You know what I mean? Like the best coaches kind of give them this other world to live in where they feel they need to step up to help out their brother over here, or they need to come through with a big goal because everyone's rallying behind them, or whatever it is, right? So to pull a move like that, like put Campbell in tonight and then start Freddie tomorrow, would have been pretty boss, especially because it's against the same team. Because if you remember, Babcock got a lot of flack for that. Babcock was always getting in trouble for playing this Freddie in game 2, but it would be against 2 different teams, though. You know what I mean? Or no, was it playing him in game 1? Whatever it was, he always used to get it wrong. So I think he was used to play it in game 1. See, he always got the back-to-back game, and it was awful. So either way, I don't know. You know what I mean? There is gamesmanship to that. There's mental games that go along with that stuff. So good coaches know how to get inside their players' heads a little bit and say, hey, look, I know so-and-so reacts well when I do this or when I do that. And for the head coach, it becomes a little less about like strategy or like doing individual plays. I mean, they got all their assistants for that, right? So the big dogs, right, the top dogs, they're usually the ones, kind of just getting inside each player's head, trying to figure out a way to wake these guys up. So far, Keefe hasn't done it consistently yet. You know what I mean? But I hope it goes well for him. And AKZ's got to go. 34, what up? So, yeah, good night, bruv. Good night, bruv. That's what I was trying to say, apparently. Yeah, thanks for coming out for the chat, man. We're going to get to some games soon, though, okay? We're going to get to some gameage. We got a lot of Be a Pro stuff to catch up on, too. But any more, you know what I mean? Let me know in the chat right now. Anything else anyone want to sound off on with the Leafs game? What do you guys think? You know what I mean? I'm excited to see Campbell play. It will be fun to see a new goalie in the net just to see what happens. The Leafs just lost like 08. Hey, they lost a lot back in 08, didn't they? Well, that might have been the end of their good years in the early 90s. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know my trivia as much as the Leafs fans should. I'm always just more into just following along every year. Like, you know what I mean? History is what it is. Like, you pick it up as you go because people are going to talk about it. You learn these things. But I don't know every last, season and every last, record they ever broke and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Takes a special kind of knowledge for all that. Trade Matthews to the Yotes, eh? Oh, you never know. You never know. Like I said, management changes first. Watch out. This will just be another tear-down rebuild situation. They'll just do it again, and do it again, and do it again. But as long as this management team is in there, that means Shanahan and Kyle Dubas. I mean, they're going to stick with what they think is best, and they'll make tweaks and stuff. But at its core, they'll still be the same. So, thoughts on Dermott over Lettinen? First of all, Lettinen always freaks me out is what I was trying to say, because of his name. I don't trust people that's name is really let one in. And he wouldn't be the first Lettinen that's ever been in the league. There's been a goalie or two, I think. And it always sounded funny to me. Let one in. Somebody was ribbing on them for that, for sure. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I've never thought that the Leafs have a problem with their defensemen. I don't think in the last few years they had a problem with defensemen. I think they have a problem with defense, which takes all 5 guys on the ice. They all got to play their part, man. If they don't, it doesn't work. You can't have 3 offensive forwards on the ice at the same time as 2 really defensive defensemen and expect the 2 guys to bail out the 3 all the time. It's not going to happen. So until they all start playing their part, expect more of the same is what I think, right? Keefe started so well last year. Do you think it was more of Toronto buying in, and do you think they can get back to playing that well under him? Good question, Roar. I think they can, but you know how we talk about how sorry, my PlayStation was about to shut off. I had to keep it going there a little bit. We talk about how when it was new players, like they got a bunch of new players this year, so they're gonna like act like it's a new team and just forget all the mistakes from the past and stuff like that. Some of these guys are 5 years in now, right? Some of these guys are a whole 5 years in, right? Playing together and seeing the same mistakes. So a little bit of that is haunting them too, man. That's the thing. It seems to be like with this team, no matter who's on it. If you're a Leafs fan since like forever, you know this. It doesn't seem to matter who's on it. Once the Leafs start believing that they're losing, there's no coming back, man. And sometimes that happens never. You know what I mean? For the good teams that they had, they never thought they were out. But when you start seeing it creep in their heads, like, uh-oh, we're going to lose this game, they've already lost it. And that could be in the first period, you know what I mean? Or it could be late in the third. But there always seems to be a moment where everything unravels, you know what I mean? And for this game, it was the whole game, pretty much. It all unraveled tonight, you know? Right, it's the way you play defense, not who you got. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that. That's what I'm trying to say, man. Like, you know, the worst defensemen in the league still got to the NHL, guys. They still got there. So clearly they're NHL caliber defensemen, right? It's about the systems that they play in, right? So the defensemen alone can't do it. Now, they're more important than the forwards. Don't get me wrong. It's their job to kind of cover up for when a forward makes a mistake. You know, sitting back on the play, being a defenseman, you don't have to skate as hard, but your eyes have to be more active. I shouldn't even say that. They just have to also be active, right? Because you need to watch for those mistakes, those holes that are happening right in front of you, and you gotta patch them up before they become a big problem, right? So you do have to cover for forwards' mistakes, but you can't do it all game, and not when the three forwards don't even care. I'm not saying that's the issue tonight. I'm just talking about the extreme version. The extreme version is the three forwards only worry about goals, and they don't care about, you know, back checking or any of that. You know, and the extreme version is the two defensemen that happen to be very defensive defensemen and are never going to go up on the rush. And what you have is just a broken system, right? So they got to figure out how to do a bit of both, right? Where are we at here? Yeah, so I guess we're good with that then. How's Malhotra doing in Toronto? I don't even know. Who's Malhotra? I know the name. We're talking about a new player, Malhotra? Because I think of like an old player, Malhotra. Wasn't there an old like New York Ranger? An old Leaf, even? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a 90s kid, right? So like, as much as I know a lot, I'm also very, very self-centered. I don't know much before that, right? So, oh, assistant coach. Man, I don't know. If he was that bald dude drawing up the play, it looked like they were only kind of interested. So, I don't know. You can usually tell when, like, when you see a coach, you know, scribbling away on that little board, just look at the players right in front of him, right? Like, obviously the ones further back are probably not going to be involved in this play. They're just there to, like, be moral support, right? So they might not be looking at it very much. But when the guy's in front staring at it, if they're not, like, getting pumped up, if you don't see that in their eyes, I mean, it can still happen. It can still happen for them, but when you see that fire, all of a sudden, like, yeah, you know what? I think we got this. You can bet a goal's coming, right? So I don't know. The coach had a plan. I don't know if they executed. They did win the face-off and execute a quick shot with Matthews right off that draw. So if he drew that up, if that's the way he thought they should have gone about it, I agree. That was a good play. All they did was move the puck, you know, to the left, to the far side, creep over the blue line, and let Matthews just wing it on net. There was like 20 seconds left. You got to get 2 goals. You don't have time to be dancing around waiting for the perfect pass. You go in, you blast it, you send somebody crashing to the net, and hopefully get a rebound. That's the only play you got. And it was a little old school, and I like the fact that coach drew that up. So good on him then. All right? I hope to see lots more of that stuff. Hopefully not with 20 seconds left and you're down by 2 goals. But, you know, do I think Campbell could take Freddie's job? I mean, like, look, we're heading into it again, guys. As much as I'm like, everybody chill, I'm not the media. The media is going to be all over this. And the media gets all over it, and then the people who own the team are like looking at their boys like Shanahan, like Dubas, and being like, what's going on? I can't take another year of this. You've had 5. This is the 5th or whatever, sorry, I think. Right? Time to, you know what, or get off the pot. That's how it's going down. So, I mean, figure it out. That's what the owners are going to say if this continues on for another whole season. Especially in one like this where like everybody's watching because we got nothing else. You know what I mean? Taking out the bed roar. Well, yeah, thanks for coming out, okay? Like I said, yeah, I'll be here tomorrow after the game for a bit, all right? But tonight, you know what? We're gonna continue on the chat. Feel free to sound off. We'll be talking about this all night. But I'm gonna catch up on some Be A Pro stuff. So anyone else that wants to peace out right now, you're not into the hockey game stuff, or you're not into the video game stuff that much, look, I get it. But feel free to come out for these things anytime you want, okay? Now, though, let the regularly scheduled program begin, okay? Let's switch over to, what is it, this? So that's it, guys. Bye-bye 2020. Hello 2021. And I mean it, man. I am trying to go for it this year, okay? So we're setting the bar real high. Aiming for that 1,000 subscribers this year. So if you like what you've seen so far, and you just haven't gotten around to hitting that subscribe button yet, I'm telling you, let's go for it now. I can wait. Thank you.